At Blackfoot Communications, our mission is to connect people, businesses, and communities, bringing a world-class fiber network to homes, communities, and businesses of all sizes, ensures Montanans have access to fast, reliable, and secure internet and phone services. Are you ready for fiber internet? To find out if fiber is coming to your area, visit goblackfoot.com/readyforfiber. Connect to more with Blackfoot Communications.
Excited to be 3-0 and come through the first 3 games with 3 wins. It was great to get a grinded out win last Saturday night against a good team when it just seemed, from our perspective, it seemed like every break was going against us, and we just kind of found a way to get it done. I really think our team's mentally tough. In fact, I don't think it, I know it. We have a mentally tough football team, and that'll hopefully pay dividends for us in the upcoming weeks once we get into conference play. So, obviously, we start conference play this week on the road at NAU. It's a great place to play. I've always enjoyed playing in the Walk-Up Sky Dome. There's a clean slate for both teams. We're both 0-0 in conference play. We're just kind of getting into our preparation for them, but Coach Ball does a great job. They're well coached. They've got good players. There'll be a test. So, yeah, that's kind of how the week sets up.
Yeah, for Coach, is there a difference in preparation for playing these conference teams that you have a lot of history with compared to these non-conference games that you have almost no history with? There's
not really a difference in preparation, but you do have some historical background and some institutional knowledge on them, and oftentimes it's coaches on staff that you've coached against either there or other places, so you have some background with them, which is the case with NAU. And last week was quite odd that way, really not having any gauge, any common opponents, any history. It was that's more difficult, I think, because you can't get a personnel evaluation. You really don't know how they're going to look. I've never seen so many big bodies on a sideline when they walked out there. They're big.
Bobby, on that note, I watched the game back last night again, and their defensive front was so impressive. What did you think of the way that your offensive front handled it?
Well, we did some. AJ can talk about it too. We played better in the second half. I thought, they were heavy inside in the run game, and we didn't block them well enough on the edge probably in the first half. And then in the pass game, we were too soft inside in terms of, giving the quarterback an area to step up in. So they did a good job. They were big and physical. I thought, again, we did a better job of making a stand and not getting pushed inside in particular in the second half. But the first half, they pushed us around a little bit.
And, AJ, they ran a variety of different fronts and also had some great talent up front. So what were the biggest challenges from your guys' perspective? How are you able to sort of adjust and do well down the stretch?
Yeah, I think, just like Coach said, they were a big physical front, and we knew that coming in. Just based on watching the film, based on watching, looking at the scouting report, we knew that they were going to be a big physical team. It was all about identifying the front, identifying whether even or odd, and trying to make sure, my job as a center to get everybody on the same page. So, they were a good team. They were big and physical, and it was great to have a grinded out win on Saturday.
Braxton, your evaluation of the defense through 3 games?
I'd say we got a lot to improve on still. Obviously, always want to hold them to 0, but I think we've made great leaps in each game. From week 1 to week 2 to week 3, and we just got to keep taking the coaching and keep improving there.
No need to go into specifics, but the stuff you guys are doing on the back end coverage-wise seems like there's a lot of variety there now. What have you thought of the defensive secondary and their ability to sort of pick that stuff up?
Yeah, it's been great. When our coaches give us the game plan, that's the plan, and we're gonna do our best job in whatever they give us, and yeah, it's been good.
Bobby, same thing for you. Just having Ronnie Bradford now calling the defense, and also Timmy back helping with the defense too. How much has the back end diversified, and how have those guys, in your opinion, picked things up?
I don't think it's anything, too out of the box, but we're trying some new things coverage-wise that those guys have brought to the table, and I think that's been good. I think it's been productive. Good. I've mentioned this repeatedly. I think they have a good working relationship between the two of them, and a lot of experience coaching the secondary, and I think that's helped our guys.
Braxton, career high 15 tackles for you on Saturday. First time you had 2 sacks in a game. How were you feeling out there? What were you seeing, and what was working well for you?
I mean, first off, just glad to get the win. Other than that, just credit to my teammates for, eating up blocks, whether it's the inside guys or, linebacker blitzing. I mean, all those plays are just credit to my teammates. So just glad to get the win.
Linebacker core, a couple guys taking on some bigger roles this year. What have you liked about that group through 3 games, and especially on Saturday?
Yeah, I love that group, the linebackers. But, the new guys, Ryan and Riley, and, the more veteran guys, Levi and Flink, they're all doing a great job, just playing with effort, playing physical, and, taking coaching and giving it our all.
Bobby, on the linebackers, they certainly filled up the stat sheet, but just kind of curious, I don't know if you thought it was maybe their best performance of the year as the linebackers as a whole, but what's kind of impressed you so far about that group this season?
Well, I like the fact that we've been able to play quite a few of them, getting some game experience for some of the guys that haven't played as much. But, spring ball and fall camp, those guys have excelled. We've got, as Braxton said, we've got things we have to improve upon, but those guys are playing well, and they're going to have to get off blocks and make plays and do some of that like they did last week if we're going to continue to have success. And it was good to see them make plays Saturday. No
Riley Wilson out there. Curious why he didn't play and when you expect him back.
Yeah, he was unavailable Saturday.
Had Evan Schaefer out there a little bit at nose tackle. Just curious about that decision and how you think he played.
Yeah, just curious in regards to
just why you had him out there on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, he was out there because we're thin. We've had some injury and attrition at the nose spot, and we don't want Alex to play every play. I just don't think it's productive at that position. So we're trying to get production out of our nose position other than Alex, and Evan's a guy that can do it, and so right now he's a two-way player for us.
AJ, one question for you. Working on a story on Chris Walker, and at the start of the year he was named to Bruce Feldman's college football freaks list as a freak athlete. What's he like in the weight room, and has he always been like that going back to your time with him at Nebraska?
Yeah, for as long as I've known Chris, he's been a guy that likes to be in the weight room, likes to push weight, likes to lift heavy things. Yeah, he's a guy who he's done a great job ever since I've known him, going back to our history. And then coming here, he's kept that same attitude and work ethic in workouts, in practice. Yeah, he's been a great addition to our team, and I'm glad he's here.
Me too.
Bobby, NAU lost a great quarterback to the portal this last year, but they brought in another guy, an FBS guy as well. So does the offense look different with a new guy at the helm?
Well, no, not really. I mean, they're some of the things they're emphasizing, run game, pass game are maybe a little different, but I don't think that's quarterback based. I think that's just football. So they're pretty comprehensive in their run game. They're playing a lot of different people at the running back spots. I don't. They've got a real extensive screen game, which has got our attention, and they're good at it, and they call it a lot. So, all those things go into it. But I don't think that. Everybody runs the same thing, so it's not a wholesale change. They run our plays, we run their plays. Ferris State runs our plays, we run their plays. Alabama runs our plays, and we try to run their plays. So everybody runs the same stuff.
It seems like they have a lot of speed at wide receiver, though, and they like to use them vertically and horizontally. So what sort of challenge is that for a defense?
They have the two receivers that were, preseason All-Big Sky guys. Very highly regarded. I think they've got good speed. I think they're good players.
Speaking of Coulter's question, it seemed like they had one quarterback playing predominantly the first two games, switched it up a little bit on Saturday. What is your evaluation of their quarterbacks that kind of switch them in and out a little bit?
That's really a question for them. I don't know the whys or hows of why they do it or did it last week. That'd be a great question. If you can get the answer from Coach Ball on that, get it to me. The first couple weeks they played one, and then they played two last week, and I don't know why.
And then having it's kind of unique, like having a mutual non-conference opponent. Is that helpful for you in preparing for this game with the Utah Tech commonality?
Kind of go back to your question where you have an idea on the personnel stuff. I wouldn't read too much into their game with Utah Tech. You turn it over 6 times, you're not going to win any games. So, that's what I wouldn't put too much into that. But I think it does help. Just speed, judging speed and size and all the different things. Yeah.
Alluding to some of Frank's questions earlier about the linebackers, Braxton's obviously a guy who stepped up, become a leader with that room. How have you been impressed with the way he's fulfilled his role and really been a big part of this defense so far?
Well, I was real impressed. Saturday he had 15 tackles. So, it's a production-oriented business, offense, defense, special teams. When you have plays to make, you either make them or you don't. And Braxton's doing a great job when they're his plays to make, he's making them. And, like they all do, but guys like him that they're not at all like they were when they walked in the door as a football player. He's really evolved. He understands the game, is physical, plays really hard, has great speed, just a great guy to have in there at linebacker for us.
Bobby, your evaluation of NAU defensively, what do they look like? What's their alignment like? And what sort of challenges does that present?
They've changed coordinators, so they've changed a bit on defense. The front stuff's a little bit different. They pick their game plan, we don't, but they've shown a want to cover the center up in a variety of fashions, and so we're expecting a lot of the game with the center covered up and then playing the other 10 around that.
You've coached at the Walk-Up Skydome plenty of times, both as an NAU coach, but also as Montana's coach. What makes that venue unique? It seems like there's this sort of a different feel to it when you go there.
Well, it's really a cool building. It's like one of the largest all-wood structures in the world, and it's loud in there, and I just think it's a neat place to play. And NAU's always good. We've actually played really well down there over the years, so it's always a good game, and it's just kind of a fun place to go.
Does elevation play a factor? Is that something that you prepare for?
Well, it's over 7,000 feet there, but it's not like we're coming from sea level or something here. This is a mountain town too, I guess. So I don't think so much.
Braxton, your memories of playing down there, if any, and what do you think of just this upcoming trip, this upcoming challenge?
Yeah, I remember going down my sophomore year, and I just thought it was a cool place to play. Haven't played in a whole lot of domes, and I just thought they had really nice facilities and whatnot. And just looking forward to going on the road with my brothers and trying to come 4-0.
Bobby, a couple of marquee non-conference wins so far for the Big Sky this year. What is your evaluation of the conference as a whole as you head into Big Sky play?
I haven't paid too much attention really to the non-conference schedule. I haven't watched film on anybody else, but I was excited for the guys at Sac State last weekend to get that win. That's the one that I assume maybe that's the one you're talking about. But we'll start zeroing in on the conference. I think our league's really strong. I do. I think our league's very, very good, top to bottom. A lot of good teams in this conference.
Kind of a non sequitur, but I got to ask as a special teams guy, the Miami-New England game last night where the guy kind of runs in, blocks the kick based on the kicker's motion, not the snap of the ball. Did you see that, and what do you make? Have you ever seen something like that before?
I didn't see it. Sunday's a long day of film for us. We don't get the benefit of watching NFL. Someday I will, though. I'll watch every game. as many as Stacy Hauck will allow me to watch.
Anybody else?
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.